Thank you for tuning in to AndronETalks Radio, gathering as one in our sovereign truth from a galactic perspective, exploring our world with new ideas, knowledge, and a promise of a better future. Galactic discussions for galactic-minded people. AndronETalks.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on AndronETalks News. Well, the reason why I'm contacting everyone and letting you all know, I had a private session today that kind of made me very alarmed. And, of course, we don't live in fear, but we do need to be aware of what's happening. And I know a lot of people have had problems with various things, and we see the condition of the world, and it seems to be, should I say, hell-bent on trying to mechanize everything and using different types of control systems and of course implants or whatever else that you want to call it. Through whether it's inoculations or what have you, in our air quality and everything to kind of digitize our world. Well, anyhow, here I am. Working with someone. I have this clear vision that they had a family member that was reacting to AI or acting very strange, almost like maybe controlled in some way. And as I started looking deeper, I realized that this individual was targeted by Dark Fleet. And I know that a lot of people think about Dark Fleet, as, we're a super soldier for Dark Fleet. Well, Dark Fleet is a very sophisticated group of cyborgs, ancient cyborgs, and those that are under them get compromised because they don't like competition. They want everyone to be somewhat submissive to whatever their intentions are and understand that they have something that they're required to do. So it's usually on a command basis. And so those that are under that command don't necessarily have control. And so I saw that they were trying to initiate some kind of system in this relative. So as you can see here on the ACIO website, if you want to read a little bit more about it, this is on the official ACIO official website .org, acioofficial.org, and here's an article that was written about it, that it is a fleet of highly sophisticated self-aware intelligence space motherships that were built between roughly 12 and 6 million years ago by an alien race of cyborgs. The Dark Fleet AI is equipped with highly advanced mind control technology that is used on personnel operating the ships and equipment in order to keep them under tight control. The AI also conducts sophisticated manipulated tactics on certain personnel to extract encrypted intelligence to gain access to high-value items and life forms to be sold on the market. The Nazis eventually formed an alliance with Dark Fleet with the hopes of being able to access their highly advanced weapons and technology, only to become completely co-opted by the advanced AI and its agenda. Dark Fleet has had a history of being the catalyst for many space wars and conflicts, especially as the cyborg creators became increasingly involved in corrupt activities throughout the galaxy. Up to this point, the primary goals and objectives of Dark Fleet appear to be to conquer and dominate other planets, civilizations, and harvesting power and resources wherever they can. Their overall agendas don't appear to have much sophistication as they position themselves as the quintessential force for tyranny throughout the galaxy. So I happen to see a vehicle similar to this one. I recognized that it was flat and dark in color, black, or a kind of a shape similar to that. Of course, I didn't see the entire ship. I saw like a portion of it, and I was observing. I was seeing what was going on. That they had, put implants in some of these people. The state in particular I was looking at was Texas, although I believe it's happening all over the world. They had at least 14,000 that had been affected in that state, and of course, a state that's trying to stay strong and become, maintain their independence and sovereignty. And so I looked at my friend who I was working with, and I saw this weird-looking spider on his back. Sort of looked like this. It was kind of a shiny, almost looked metallic-looking spider. It was dug in right between the shoulder blades and the back of the spine. And I, gently tried to extract it. And as I did, one, like the lower back one, had a very fine needle on it. And at the end of the needle, there was a tiny implant, very, very tiny, microscopic almost. And when we extracted it, the needle and the implant came out. And then I saw this greenish looking toxic substance. And so, by the way, that spider that we were just looking at is a new species of venomous spiders discovered in Florida that looks like pitch black tarantula. Remember, tarantulas usually have like some kind of fur on it, for lack of better words. And so, anyhow, I don't know where they came from, right? So the similarities don't end. Like tarantulas, pine, rockland, trapdoor spiders are venomous. Though their venom is not nearly potent enough to pose a danger to humans, its primarily purpose is to make the content of prey insects easier to consume. The way I felt about it is that I don't, it doesn't seem like they originally belonged here. I mean, people seem to be surprised that they had found it or they discovered it. New species. Okay. So did Dark Fleet bring those? That would be interesting. I almost wouldn't be surprised. But the thing that I heard was a metatoxin. I heard meta, although what came up was metal toxin, which is probably similar. And it was this greenish looking ooze that started coming out where the claws were. And I knew immediately that astrally there was a lot of toxicity that occurred. And not only for him, but for myself. And I recommended him to, go and have like a bath with Epsom salts. And I did the same. And also to clear any and all implants regarding that. I have a feeling that many people have been affected by this, especially since these things, they're putting them on people's backs. So people with back injuries that are unexplained. Maybe this could be a cause of it. So like I said, I highly recommend, if you can, while you're listening to this or after you're listening to this, to go in and, take a hot bath. Don't do it with cold water unless you don't have an option. And the same thing, like the salts are really important because it draws anything out. And I know this is astral, but astral does manifest in the physical. So, removing of any heavy metals. And of course, the Epsom salts was what they recommended that we do. That's my guidance. And of course, if people have other means of herbal remedies or something to deal with heavy metals, that's a good idea. I did hand over the implant to the Council 5. I was asking them to review whatever was in there, and of course they'll tell me whatever that we need to know in time, after they discover what initiative that they have, that the Dark Fleet was doing to this planet, and obviously their attempts to take over or dominate, as it seems to be their protocol and how they typically operate. And this is my first time experiencing a direct attack from Dark Fleet. I mean, yes, I have, but not to this level. And I see it was very organized and with a deep intention to cover quite a few people and have them under thumb. So anyhow, like I said, we'll review this some more, but I do recommend the hot bath, hot shower, salts, Epsom salts, or if you are near an ocean, it might help. So since I heard the word meta, someone reminded me that just recently, which I don't think is an accident, Facebook is going to be changed. It has changed their name. I think it was on Thursday to Meta instead of Facebook. So Facebook faces the same struggles as Alphabet, as both companies try to turn sci-fi into reality. Facebook's name change the week echoes Google's decision 6 years ago to reorganize into Alphabet. Alphabet is yet to deliver on its promise to deliver another Google out of its various projects like self-driving cars. Facebook is setting itself up for a similar result as it tries to build a metaverse, which requires technology that simply doesn't exist yet. What is the metaverse and why should we care? Facebook recently changed its name to Meta to align to the company with its ambitions to build the metaverse. The metaverse is not yet a reality, but it could be in the next evolution of the internet. The idea is that extended reality, the combination of augmented, virtual, and mixed reality, will become a key medium for social and business engagement. Remember, they're looking for this certain percentage, high 70, 80, maybe, ideally 100% of everyone being ready for this, if you know what I mean. And all right, so let's get back here. If you're interested in technology, you probably heard the buzzword of the moment, metaverse. The hype around the term may have reached its zenith on Thursday when Facebook announced it was renaming its portfolio of companies Meta to align its business with its ambitions to build the metaverse. So reputedly, it was Apple chief executive Steve Jobs who describes the implication that a globally distributed network of interconnected computers could have communications, commerce, and information. When Jobs finished, because a reaction was, let's buy it. Just as you can invest the internet, so too you can not identify the metaverse as a unique product, technology, or service. A better question might be, what could become the metaverse? And, and it further goes into how it will affect communications, socialize with each other, sell goods, and entertain ourselves. Of course, Facebook has been studying and researching how people interact with one another, not only just patterns, behaviors, but also psychology and the nature of humanity. Isn't that interesting to be this case study? The foundation for value here is NFT as a claim of ownership for unique, non-interchangeable digital asset that is stored in a blockchain. Linking digital assets to the real world economic activity in the metaverse. Simply put, this means being able to build, trade, and invest in products, goods, and services, and probably I would add humanity being part of that. So there's another article. gaming in the metaverse reveals its future, what gaming will look like in the future, and some current games for the Oculus Quest. Interesting, Meta and Facebook's new name ridiculed by Hebrew speakers. Notice the infinity symbol here for Meta. Facebook's announcement that it's changing its name to Meta has caused quite a stir in Israel, where the word sounds like the Hebrew word for dead. To be precise, Meta is pronounced like the feminine form of the Hebrew word. A number of people have taken to Twitter to share their take on the name under the hashtag #FacebookDead. The emergency rescue volunteer Zaka even got involved, telling their followers on Twitter, "Don't worry, we're on it." And this woman said that the Hebrew Meta means dead. The Jewish community will ridicule this name for years to come. And it's not just about pointing fingers and saying, "Hey, you know, we're going to say that this is dead," but think about what they're doing here with this metaverse. What are the intentions? We know who this is, Professor Klaus Schwab. He talked about digital inclusion and the Great Reset. The Great Reset to make sure that everybody's online and to be a part of what the plan is. So everyone be on one mind, one preset, one way of thinking. And they can't naturally do this with humans in complete sovereign state of mind, but they have to do something, and adding something to the physical body, to the biology, in order to shift and change this to get humanity to cooperate, which, makes me think again about Dark Fleet, of what they're doing, and others that are operating under that. Just to add more information here, military researchers, this is a Wired magazine. I know this sounds crazy, but researchers develop corpse-eating robots. Whatever their plans are, doesn't sound very promising. Because, I think there's not that many people dying all at once that they would, we don't see piles of dead corpses piled up anywhere. So why are they saying this, and why would they think about the need for creating something like this? But here is the article. I guess the writers of the article are a little confused as well. The Defense Department is funding research into the battlefield robots that power themselves by eating human corpses. What could possibly go wrong, since they apparently don't own TVs or DVD players? Researchers at Robotic Technology says the robots will collect organic, which, doesn't make any sense. Since apparently, let's see here, technology says the robots will collect organic matter, which could include human corpses, to use for fuel. But if you're picking up anything on flesh-eating robots over the years, you'd know they'll ignore the tasty soybean. I mean, they're kind of making a joke out of it. They probably don't really know what to think of it. Here's from the Games Beat. Just how close are we to achieving the metaverse? Invest in stocks that are internet's future. More about the metaverse. The Metaverse ETF will let you invest in stocks that are internet's future. Hardware, compute, networking, virtual platforms, interchange tools and standards, payment services, content, services, and assets. Here's something else. The FAA has a deep concern about 5G network plan on aviation safety. And this article is from CNA. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has raised significant concerns about a plan to use spectrum from 5G wireless networks on aviation safety and is planning to issue a formal warning about the issue, according to sources and letters seen by Reuters. The aviation industry has voiced alarm about the plan to use C-band spectrum for more than a year. Network carriers are expected to begin using spectrum starting December 5th, starting in 46 markets. The deep concern, according to Administrator Bradley Mims, unreported October 6 letter, the deep concern about the potential impact to aviation safety results from the interference to radar altimeter performance from 5G network operations in the C-band. It continues to engage with other agencies so that the aviation and the newest generation 5G cellular technology can safely coexist. So there's some problems, and we have been seeing some problems already with flights and, just some dangerous situations that we've never had to deal with before. Here's another weird article. MIT Technology Review, how Silicon Valley hatched a plan to turn blood into human eggs. A well-concocted startup company is trying to rewrite the rules of reproduction. And they continue doing this on and on and on. I don't know if this is supposed to be the Great Replacement rather than the Great Reset. So here it is. Kristaloff also had a special interest in the artificial egg technology. And I don't know if it has to do with same sex couples or what, but trying to introduce a new human. Maybe using that as the launch for something else. Anyhow, and then of course they said this could help Parkinson's disease and all these other things, but they can do that without experimenting with humans that way. And this is from The Bite. Expert warns that human beings are going to start getting hacked. He says that companies want to increasingly manipulate you. Don't we know it? A world-renowned social philosopher and the best-selling author of Sapiens has a stark warning: we need to start regulating AI, because otherwise big companies are going to be able to hack humans. Harari believes the rapidly increasing sophistication of AI could lead to a population of hacked humans, according to a report from CBS's 60 Minutes. To deal with this issue, he called on the world's leaders to begin regulating AI and data collection efforts by large corporations. Do they regulate anything these days? I'm not really sure. They seem to regulate certain things that small businesses do, but when it comes to things like this where it can impact a lot of people and have a major impact, it's like they turn a blind eye. Nobody's really regulating anything that's harming humanity. Seems like the only thing that's getting regulated are things that are helping humanity. So we know that we don't have anyone really on our side. We have to look out for ourselves at this point. But here's an interesting article. And so this is a short news show, AndronETalks news. Remember to always take a look at our site. We'll always have new articles coming up, and alternative news and other issues. And of course, it goes pretty deep. If you want to take a look, you'll see it keeps going and going and going. Thousands and thousands of articles. You can go back further back through past couple of months, and you're going to find a whole bunch of information that you probably missed. Try to catch up with as much as you can so you can see what's going on in the world around you. And keep in mind too that it's all through categories as well. It's organized. Editor has picks and so forth. But here it is. And thank you for listening, everyone, to the show. Thank you for your support. We will continue bringing you information and news. Stay strong, and don't forget, whatever I talked about today early on in the beginning of the show regarding any type of effect, contamination, or anything regarding the dark fleet, implants, please pull those out of yourself. If you need assistance, contact me. But make sure that you take care of yourself and be well. We don't consent or agree, break any ties, vows, contracts with Dark Fleet or any other group that you feel has compromised your physical well-being. And we don't consent, we don't agree, and we're going to shut down, delete, and uninstall any and all AI that is imposing on our physical well-being in our world around us, our families, loved ones, and communities. Have a good day, everyone. Stay strong. Until next time.
You have been listening to AndronETalks Radio. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Errol Morocco and visit her website at www.readingsbyariel.com.